It's Michigan. It's Ohio State. It's the game. It's arguably the greatest rivalry in sports. Let's talk legacy here. For a couple of fresh faces to this rivalry, one Julian Sayin and Bryce Underwood, two new QB1s to the game. The opportunity for both of these guys is bountiful. We'll talk about it right now. Before we do that, though, make sure you are subscribed. We'll have instant reaction for you in this game to whatever happens here. So whether Michigan makes it 5 in a row or Ohio State snaps the streak, we will have thoughts for you after the game. So make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss anything relating to the game, but also relating to the world that is college football, the greatest sport on the face of planet Earth. Appreciate y'all in advance for being locked in and being subscribed. So here's the thing. Whoever wins, as with any winning quarterback of a rivalry game, but especially with both these guys, you get the experience of just being the absolute man, and not just being the man to the degree of like, oh, cool, you get be the guy that beat Michigan or that beat Ohio State. Like, both these guys are going to, barring something wildly unforeseen, start in this game next year. So you got a chance now here to win round one if you're Julian Sayin or if you're Bryce Underwood. Now, for Julian Sayin, if you're the guy that broke the streak, we're talking about this very same topic at the end of our Wednesday show. Myself and Caden Smith brought up the idea of legacy and is like, hey, Julian Sayin, if you're the guy that broke that 4-year streak against Michigan, you're not paying for any Diet Cokes in Columbus here because you're not 21, Julian. So Diet Cokes, they're on the house, have to believe. But people are going to start naming their kids Julian. You're going to get a mention in a Drake song. Like you are the man in the state of Ohio and probably nationally in the world of college football as well. If you're that guy that beats Michigan when C.J. Stroud couldn't do it, Kyle McCord couldn't do it after led the country in passing the year after. Like, many have tried, many have failed. And if Julian Sayin does it his first year starting as a redshirt freshman, the amount of just juice that would give to you in your career going into next season, the legacy begins here for Julian Sayin. You got a chance to be the guy that beats Michigan, dare I say, 3 times in a row if you're Julian Sayin. Now, to get there, you got to win the first one. But understand, the opportunity on the table here for Julian Sayin and what people say about him in Columbus, Ohio, and the college football world in general, massive opportunity. Same thing can be said for Bryce Underwood. If he beats Ohio State, you're looking at this, if you're a Michigan fan, and saying, okay, so that's 5 in a row. Cool, feel good about that. But this dude's coming back next year. Like, we enjoyed the J.J. McCarthy run. That was awesome. But this dude's going to be back here next year and the year after that. We get him for at least 2 more years. Maybe a third year after that, should we be so lucky to get him in Ann Arbor for 4 seasons. If they win this game, too, got to say this, Michigan, feel like you're a college football playoff team. I don't see a world where Michigan is 10-2 with the win over the number 1 team in America to finish the regular season, and they're left out of the 12-team playoff. That's not going to happen. So you're enjoying the juice of the 5th in a row, but you're also looking at the future and saying, okay, now we're set up for some success. Because if we're in the college football playoff, guess what? With your first-year starting quarterback who's 18 years old, you have a freaking billboard to the transfer portal, to wide receivers, and saying, hey, come here, come play with this kid, because we're just getting started. That wasn't even like iOS 7. That was just the first version. That's just beta testing. We're just kind of figuring this thing out. First year with new offensive coordinator. One of our best receivers is a true freshman, Andrew Marsh. Like, if you want to come be a part of this thing when it's really on and popping, you come to Ann Arbor right now. Because we just beat Ohio State for the 5th year in a row with a true freshman quarterback. It's only up from here, brother. The pitch, being able to make that pitch, rather, if you're a Michigan donor or you're just the powers that be at Michigan, that is huge. That is absolutely huge, okay? Now, on the flip side of this, in a loss, I would argue there's more pressure on Bryce Underwood, okay? Because if he's the one to lose this game for the first time in 5 years for Michigan, you start looking at, wait, how much we're paying this guy? Flipped him from LSU for what, $12 million, give or take? Interesting. Interesting ROI. Now, I'm not telling you that's fair or not fair. I'm just telling you that would inevitably be the narrative. You're already hearing it over the course of this season. The guy's 18 years old because he hasn't thrown for 40 touchdowns. So there's that part of this equation. But the pressure on Bryce Underwood for his entire story arc as a recruit and for what he was billed as a recruit and being thrust into the fire so quickly and the success against Ohio State with a lack of quarterback play a year ago, I think there's more pressure on Bryce Underwood to be the guy to keep the streak alive for all those reasons I just mentioned. Now, for Ohio State, if Julian Sayin isn't able to beat Michigan this year, it'll be a team thing. It'll be on everyone involved. And Julian Sayin will absolutely take some heat for that. Because I'm assuming now if Julian Sayin and Ohio State come up short, there's something to be desired then, you'd have to imagine, on the offense side of the football, whatever that looks like. That's my assumption here. But I think who's really taking the heat if Ohio State loses is the common denominator in all these losses, which is Ryan Day, your head coach. Because you zoom out a little bit, you say, wait a second, Julian Sayin couldn't get it done. Like, that sucks. But who have we had at quarterback here? C.J. Stroud, who our scouts out of high school had as a 5-star, second overall pick in the NFL draft. Kyle McCord, who wasn't the career I think he wanted in Columbus, but he ended up leading college football in passing the year after he left Ohio State at Syracuse. And then Will Howard, who was one of the top transfer portal quarterbacks on the market, who led you to a national championship. And you couldn't get it done with any of those guys, Ryan Day. And now the cherry on top is another 5-star quarterback, and you can't get it done. So there's going to be heat to go around for everyone involved, but I think the majority of the smoke wouldn't fall on Julian Sayin. It would fall on Ryan Day. So if you're Ohio State, you're like, we will be more than fine to not even have to deal with that whole scenario you just laid out there, JD. We're going to go ahead and just win this game, and we'll be good to go. And Bryce Underwood in Michigan, you're saying the same thing. But just I want to make sure we had this out there for the masses. What's being said after this game around both quarterbacks, there will be a future lens on this thing relative to this game next year, and then also what these teams are capable of here after this game going forward this season and beyond. But we appreciate y'all making this show what it is. Again, we will have a reaction for you for this game after it finishes up, so make sure you're locked in and subscribe for that one. But we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. For Cato on the ones and the twos, for myself, JD Pickell, we're going to keep this party rolling. We will see y'all next time.